Welcome back into Viking Central. We are going to talk a little bit of the quarterback position today. Obviously, it's always a big talker, so nothing unusual when it comes to this team. Um, Sam Darnold having a pretty damn good year, resurgent year. Um, Honestly, his best year of his career. That's pretty easy to say. Um, Somewhat surprising, but somewhat not, because Kevin O'Connell is kind of a genius when it comes to the quarterback position. Just really knows how to put those guys in terrific, spots to be successful. And it's been no different with Sam Darnold. I mean, Nick Mullins was balling out last year a little bit, 400-yard games, 3 or 4 touchdown games. Um, so I know he didn't win those games, but the quarterback was just playing out of his mind at certain times last year, and before Kirk got injured off his Achilles last season as well. He was starting to put together a little bit of an MVP campaign. We started, I think, 1-4, and then push it up to 4-4 after a really good win versus the Packers, obviously, where he did, in fact, tear his Achilles. But either way, Kevin O'Connell knows how to, make the quarterback play really well. And again, no different with Sam Darnold. And eventually, probably, maybe 98% sure, JJ McCarthy will be in that same boat. So hopefully, he comes off his surgeries fine and everything looks good with his knee. And he's just the same guy that he was before. And, fingers crossed. And we hope that is what happens. But before we can even talk about JJ McCarthy, what are the Vikings going to do with Sam Darnold? 23 touchdowns and 10 interceptions so far this year. I think he's completing like 67% of his passes. Top 10 in yards, I believe, in the NFL. Just having, again, a really good, solid year, especially these last 3 games where the Vikings are 3-0, 2 game-winning drives. And this comes after where there was a couple games where you're like, what are you doing, Sammy? Just was not playing well. I'm trying to remember what games it was exactly. It was a couple of losses. The Jacksonville game, just he tried to throw that one away. And there was another game tucked in there too where he just was not playing well. And, that's the way it goes, especially with a guy like Sam Darnold, who's been up and down in his career. And I think struggles a little bit with confidence at some points during the game, during the season. And I think O'Connell does help with that, just to kind of smooth things over. And again, make sure he's in the right state of mind. I think he does a great job of that. But the question I wanted to get answered here, should the Vikings re-sign Sam Darnold? And I think it is a question to ask because it is a good question, especially if the Vikings go into the playoffs, make a little bit of a deep run. I mean, if they win one playoff game, I think they still move on from him. But if they make it to like the NFC Championship game, that question gets a lot tougher. Obviously, if they're one and done, they don't win a playoff game, it's a pretty easy transition over to JJ McCarthy, in my opinion, because they want to see that postseason success. And Darnold's going to get paid. He's going to get paid, I think, in my opinion, probably north of $25 million a year if this continues. And who knows, some franchise might throw him the bag. I don't know. And maybe some other teams will still be kind of, off put by what, his career has been before stopping Minnesota. But this is the 2025 free agency class for quarterbacks. Sam Darnold, obviously. The next guy up, the next best guy is Zach Wilson. And then you got Trey Lance. Then you got Jacoby Brissett. Then you got Taylor Heineke. Then you got Marcus Mariota. Then you got Drew Lock. Then you got Jared Stidham, Andy Dalton, Justin Fields, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, Mac Jones, Carson Wentz, Jimmy Garoppolo, Case Keenum, Mason Rudolph, Easton Stick, Cooper Rush, Josh Dobbs, Brandon Allen, Nick Mullins, Kyle Trask, Josh. You get the point. That class is atrocious. There's some good backups in there, but if you need a stopgap or you're looking for a starting quarterback, Sam Darnold's probably your only option. So I think he's going to get the bag from someone, and that's probably not going to be Minnesota because they're constructing this roster where they want a quarterback on a rookie contract. That's That's just the way they're constructing it. They don't want to throw 25, 30 million at the quarterback position, which is, it's not a ton of money for the quarterback position in 2024, 2025, but it's more than they probably want to spend because they do have a defense that they've been able to build because, they're not paying a ton, for the quarterback. They could add weapons on the offense. They could upgrade their offensive line. They have options because they're going to have a lot of money to play with. And if J.J. McCarthy's healthy, I think that's the route they want to go. Again, unless they make it to the NFC Championship game or, God forbid, the Super Bowl someday, baby. But it's been a great success here for both Sam Darnold and the Vikings, and I think that's exactly what they were looking to do. Just Sam Darnold have a great year. Vikings pull out some wins. 6.5 wins is what Vegas expected the Vikings to be at prior to the year, and we're at 10 wins through 12 games, 5 games to go. So, probably going to win 13 games, which would be awesome at the minimum. So, just a great year, a fantastic year. It's been a lot of fun, and Sam Darnold's been a big reason why. But you got to give it up for Kevin O'Connell and this coaching staff, the quarterback coaches. Just been, again, an amazing year. So, in my opinion, if I had to answer, should the Vikings re-sign Sam Darnold? Again, unless they make a deep playoff run. Sammy, go get your bag. Hope your career continues this upward trajectory. And the Vikings are going to have a second-year quarterback in J.J. McCarthy and a roster that's built for success for the years to come. Let's go.